73. This is the update for January 31st, 2023. Today, however, is February 1st. It is a Wednesday, and hopefully this video is out still within the Wednesday time period. It could be Thursday. Anyway, let's get right into what's going on here. 1 week in Miami, 16 hours to get to Miami, another 15 to get back to the UAE. We bring you another weekly update. Quantum Miami is officially over. It's time to head back into the lab and focus on building. We launched a fountain on Fantom yesterday, which means Monday. And I've already seen some movement between fountains, as well as some price action volatility within our ecosystem tokens. I've been reading the Telegram and Discord, and there seem to be some questions that need answers. I'll do my best to address those here. Let's get into it. All right, so let's get into the very first part here, which is going to cover a bit of a recap when it comes to Quantum Miami. So instead of doing a verbatim word for word of what's going on here, because it is quite long, he just has a quick little summary of day 1, day 2, day 3, sort of the big events that took place, everything that was happening on over there. But he does this part up top over here that I do want to touch on. Says, before I even begin the recap, I want to express my gratitude to all of those who attended, be it virtual or in person, for everyone at the Fantom Foundation for all their love and support, for everyone on the Quantum Events team that was able to make it a reality, and for all of those on the team that was able to make it down to Miami and work the event. Events like these are special, and they could not happen without everyone's support. So I think that's very important. You took the time there to write that. Then again, like I said, it goes into day 1, sort of like what it kicked off with. The mayor spoke. Day 2, you had a lot of Fantom stuff going on. So Michael Kong was there. You had Andre Cronje coming in virtually. So he had 2 different talks, I believe, on 2 different days. Day 3 went into, space, NFTs, and then going into space for doing a session up there for, I believe it was a Barack, the DJ. So just a lot of things going on. There was a pitch prize that was announced. So there was a whole lot happening. Now, day 3 was the day that Harry did his keynote or his major presentation. And his presentation, like it says right here, was about life. So this is where he tries to answer some of the questions coming in Telegram and Discord. This is where I believe some confusion came in. My presentation was specifically about life, not the entire ecosystem, including Tomb, Only, FELIX, etc. He says that he's discussed Tomb at great length before, and this was an opportunity to focus on what life was, and then take the opportunity to unveil some never-before-announced pieces of the protocol. If you saw the video, or if you were there, or if you watched the live stream, you'll know that he unveiled tokenomics, and he unveiled a 8-year schedule for L shares. So things that, have never been seen before outside of, the internal world. So very cool stuff. Tons to digest, tons to speculate. So all sorts of stuff coming out there. But he goes, Tomb and T-Share are not forgotten about, and they will have their time to shine, but they are more designed for the bull market. The reality is that we printed a lot of Tomb, and the dynamics of lock and FTM for security have changed. Therefore, the market does not need to print more Tomb at the moment, and when it needs to, it will. All right, now, during my live talk, we opened the doors to our new live Discord. This was done for several reasons, and it will help keep things clean and organized as we continue to grow. And then you can feel free to stop by. We'll have the link in this video description, so you'll be able to get there if you're not already in there. All right, so that kind of covers the main part of Miami, Quantum Miami, and the whole bit for that. There's a lot of pictures here. Of course, these are only just some of the pictures of the thousands of pictures that are out there. But, here's Harry over here. This is actually the L sharing mission slide that we were just talking about. This was an event outside. This was an Enjoy Life event that happened after hours on the first day. This was on Wednesday. Then you had the MPH Club over here, some crazy cars that can be, this is a McLaren in the middle, that can be rented. This is the pitch contest over here, grand prize winner. So this guy did really well. There's some life merch that's over here. This is Juan. This is Michael Kong, and this is Simone from Fantom. This is Austin from Block Bytes. So lots of cool stuff. These are just a very small sample of pictures. But anyway, we're not going to turn this into a picture-on-picture description. Let's get into the update. All right, the fountain on Fantom. So on Monday, Tomb Life team launched the fountain on Fantom. All right, now the balancing of APRs will happen automatically as people unstake from Tomb Chain Fountain and stake onto the Fantom Fountain. Obviously, we're going to see a lot of movement as far as APR, APYs are concerned. So just keep that in the back of your head. As more people stake into Fantom, that APY will go down. And if they're unstaking from Tomb Chain, believe it or not, that APY will go up. So there's game theory, right? It's already built in here. So it says, with this, game theory is born, and from that, an opportunity is in your hands. 2 chains down, 2 chains to go. Polygon and BNB will be next. So that is the Fountain of Life live on Fantom. Moving on, we have the Terrace. So the Terrace will be coming to BNB. All right, so now the Terrace is kind of like the more advanced size because that deals with lending and borrowing specifically. So you can be either a lender or a borrower or both. All right, so that option exists. So the Terrace, if you want to get a good idea of what the Terrace is, you could take a look at that now on Tomb Chain on life.com to get a feel for what it's going to be. It's going to be that, at least a majority of that, but it's going to be on the BNB chain. There might not be as many selections. We have to wait and see until that's actually unveiled, but they're looking to get that out later this week. So the Terrace will soon go cross-chain, BNB chain. That is next on the list. All right, moving on. Life on FELIX. So there was a lot of talk about this, about removing Tomb as the VIP token you needed to get discounts for trading fees and replacing it with Life. Note that this is not live yet, but this is something that's coming. But he does answer those questions. He talks about it right here. If you aren't aware by now, let me reiterate that I make decisions based on data and analysis. And I always make decisions for the betterment of our ecosystem as a whole. So after 7 months of data, it was clear users would benefit more using the Life token for VIP rewards on FELIX than Tomb. We have seen organic growth in demand for Life and the associated trading pairs. This is clear given the trading volume for both tokens and the number of users who were using Tomb for VIP levels. This is a positive change that will help more users save on trading fees. So again, it's all a matter of what is absolutely best for the ecosystem and what do the numbers say. Yeah, I don't have the numbers, but let's say 100 people were using Tomb for VIP levels, but 1,000 people have enough Life in their wallets that would qualify them for VIP levels, right? So, simple math would tell you those people would benefit most if it was the Life token and not the Tomb token. So that's just the way things work. In business, you have to sort of go by data, and data is telling them that the Life token would make the most sense and would help the most amount of people. So that is an answer to the question of why would they switch it from Tomb to Life, and that is right here. Anyway, that is not live yet, but it's coming soon. When it is live, we will let you know in some type of announcement, whether it be on Discord, Telegram, Twitter, or maybe all three. All right, here's something new that has never been spoken about before. Get paid in Tomb or L3USD. So the Request Network has officially added Tomb Chain to its protocol with payment detection. This means that you can actually put a request out and send that as basically an invoice and say, hey, I want to get paid in Tomb. You could do that now. I want to get paid in L3. You could do that now. Select the chain, Tomb chain, select Tomb as your payment, and you'll get paid in Tomb. So a use case for Tomb. So we lose one use case utility-wise with FELIX. We gain a use case with the Request Network. And again, remember, these things are always happening in the background. It's not This isn't something that is talked about for months and months and months at a time. This is something that is worked on in the background very quietly, and when it's ready to go, we get the announcement. So here you go. This is another example of how Tomb is always on the mind, back at the labs and what they're doing with it and how they can utilize it. And this is a great way. The request network is used by a lot of people. So right here it goes on to say 2,000 Web3 businesses every day. All right, and anyone can use it. You don't need an account. You don't need anything like that. You can sort of just log in, push up your or connect to your wallet, I should say. And then from there, you'll be able to make a request out, shoot it out, and request the chain that you want to get paid on and the token you want to get paid with. Right now, they have Tomb and L3 on Tomb Chain. So very cool stuff. It's actually very exciting. They handle payroll, expenses, invoicing. They do all sorts of stuff. So definitely something you want to take a look into. And it's great to know that Tomb is there front and center, ready to rock and roll. All right, Life Wallet. So the Life Wallet is as close it could possibly be. This is the most important part right here. Where was it? Specific tokens that could be purchased will be released at a later time. And they're talking about ramp right here. So buying crypto with your credit card, which is awesome. So that should be coming very soon. And then the overall Life Wallet itself, everything is submitted and waiting on approval. So I believe at first it's going over to Apple. Apple needs to approve it, get that going. Once that's done, it could be any day now, and then that will be live. I believe Android will come in the near future after that. But this part over here, buying crypto with your credit cards, not 100% sure what will be available at launch, but other cryptos should be able to be added in the near future is my best guess. All right, so Life Wallet coming soon. Buy crypto directly with your credit card using Ramp. So fantastic stuff right there. All right, Life Trade derivatives. We talked about this for the last few weeks. The biggest part about this right now, internal beta testing right here. Life Trade has entered internal beta testing, and the feedback so far has been very encouraging. So that's a huge step from the development stage. Right, so development, get everything going, get your MVP or your minimum viable product, and then get that out so that it could be tested and cleaned up, and any bugs could be fixed, and so on and so forth. So just as the Life Wallet went through a series of beta tests, I believe LifeTrade will likely do the same thing. It has entered its first set of internal beta testing, and so far, so good. All right, something that a lot of people have been waiting for a very long time, a specific update directly geared towards airdrops. So airdrops are moving up in priority. Your patience is always appreciated. The infrastructure needed to be in place before we could ever launch the airdrops. However, during the time of building all that infrastructure, during the time of building out Tomb Chain, during the time of building out LifeSwap, during the time of getting all those things together, the market collapsed, right? The market became extremely unfavorable. The conditions to launch were the worst they could have ever been. He goes on to say, please trust that I always have everyone's best intentions in mind, and issuing airdrops during the peak of a bear is, simply put, a guaranteed failure. All right, so this has been proven many times over. Although the market is not quite where I would like it, if the trend continues, then the focus and priorities will shift right alongside it. All the heavy lifting has already been done. It's just a matter of a few variables that need to be sorted out. It would be great to utilize Tomb Chain for deployment. Stay tuned. So there you go. That is an update a lot of people have been waiting for. Something that specifically mentions the airdrops that say, yeah, they're coming. All right. Don't worry about it. Don't need to ask every day. Don't need to ask every 5 minutes. Don't need to ask, every second or two on Telegram. They're coming. All right. They're coming. So when they come, we will all be notified. But this right here, airdrops are moving up in priority. That should make a lot of people happy. All right, then we go into the normal developmental updates. What's shaking over here? What are we talking about? Vaults are moving up in priority as well, as far as I know. And this stuff over here is that they're still in the audit process. And yes, that is true. They still have to go back and forth and do those things. But I believe they are gearing up towards the end of these, which is great. No new news on L3 as far as those audits are concerned. DeFi derivatives, we just talked about how that is, getting better. That's in our internal beta testing. So cool stuff happening right here. Obviously, we have some stuff over here. Airdrops. Airdrops will include Fanny and T-Bone, more than likely. Only platform. Mobile wallet. Again, you already had the update on that. Waiting for it. DeFi derivatives, we just talked about. Life Chain, there was an entire 20 or 30 minute talk down in Miami specifically about Life and the Life protocol and all those things. Staking vaults, we just talked about. Masonry V2 is coming soon. Buy crypto with credit card, we just talked about as well. And then ongoing alpha, pre-beta stage stuff. Fanny and T-Bone, of course, waiting on the airdrops for that. That'll be part of the airdrops. And Masonry V2, we already said coming soon. DeFi derivatives is what we just talked about, internal beta testing. Only something we know very little about, but we know that it's being worked on in the background. LifeChain, obviously, is a huge undertaking, and all that stuff is going on. Now, let me click on the comic, give you all a chance to read it. And that is it. That will wrap it up for this Tomb Tuesday update number 73. My apologies for making it a little bit on the long side, but it is what it is. We'll see you next week. Until then, we keep calm, we tomb on, we enjoy life.